everybody. So I am Oury, the treasurer of the IIPC, and I'm also head of digital legal deposit at the Bibliothèque Nationale de France. And I have the harder part of the speech because the treasurer report is always very boring, long and boring, and I will try to make something short and boring. And basically I will say exactly the same as Aaron and Abby, but with figures. So first, for those who were not in Washington, because the others already had seen this picture that the treasurer works exactly the same way this year as last year. How basically IIPC works, how the money flows within IIPC. So at the top of everything, use that. Wow. At the very beginning, there are proposals that are proposed by the program officer, and the program officer produces reports. It's for the expenses of IIPC. And the steering committee votes according to the reports of the program officer if the proposal is interesting or not, and if IIPC should pay something for the proposal or not. And so everything, the decisions, the outcomes of the vote are reported in SC minutes that are written by the program officer. Then I recite the decisions and I just acknowledge them. And then the provider of the institutions that propose the proposal is working, and it produces outcomes, hopefully, and the program officer is in charge of validating the outcomes. If the outcomes have been validated, basically the provider then sends me, the treasurer, an invoice, and I pay. That's basically how it works. So the program officer is really important in all this system because he validates the proposals and then he validates the outcomes. So that's for the expenses. And for to let money enter in IIPC, our only source of income are the membership fees. So we have annual membership fees, and there are 3 bands that depends on the operating budget of the institutions. So 200, 400, or 8,000 euros, depending on the size and the operating budget of the institution. So here it's again apparently very simple. In the details it's more tricky, but apparently very simple. Peter Stilling in the room and with assisting me in the role of treasurer, and all BNF staff who are working on that are producing invoices. We send them to the members and they pay. That's it. And the communication officer is here to make things easier and and the communication officer has also a very important role every 3 years, when we need to make a new agreement, because the IIPC consortium is always, since the beginning, a 3-year consortium. So every 3 years we need to recreate IIPC. So that's the big picture. So what IIPC spent in 2012, I am here to officially report on what we spent and what we will spend. I hate the figures. I already told that in Washington, but it is still true. I hate. I'm French speaking. I'm French, so French has always. It's always hard for French people to speak English, and especially the figures. So I will not. I will let you discover the figures, and I will only speak of projects. So the expenses of IIPCs are some ongoing expenses that we have every year. So it's first the travel expenses for the IIPC officers that are taken in charge by IIPC. So Aaron Bins, Abby Potter, and me for 2012, and it will be also my repeat for 2013. We always commit a large amount of money, but so it was 30,000 euros, but it's never spent. In fact, it's just an envelope to be sure that we will never go beyond this envelope. There are always reception and event expenses. Generally, one in the spring, the General Assembly, and one in the fall, generally linked to the I-Press conference. So it was in Washington and Toronto last year. A small amount of money for promotion and publication, and notably to produce videos. And generally the larger part of IIPC money is spent on technical projects. So in 2012, it has been first 20,000 euros remaining from an older project led by Anzo Archives for the work tools, who were tools designed to mainly migrate art files in work files, but also tools to access work files, for example. There is two projects led by the British Library, the Twitter Line project that Helen will explain afterwards, and also something which is not really, it's a crossover between a technical project and an education and training project, a crowdsourcing workshop organized in Washington. So there was, the biggest project from a finance point of view was the Jonas project led by netarchive.dk in order to produce tools that are also able to produce work files in a curator tool, tools that are able to validate, characterize work files in a long-term preservation perspective. But Bjarne Andersen, we will propose a report and an explanation of the Jonas project. I think it's on Tuesday. So if you are interested, you will discover everything on Jonas. There was also a very big communication project last year, as Abby told, on the website redesign, and then the education and training projects that will be explained, I think, also tomorrow. A PhD training by the University of North Texas, a workshop organized by DNF on the organizational aspects of web archiving, and a staff exchange between the National Library of Czech Republic and Internet Archive. So, every figures are here. It's what we committed, what we already spent this year, and what is remaining for 2013. So it's transition to the last slide. So it's the last. Afterwards, it will be finished. So again, what we would pay or what we will expend in 2013, the travel expenses always, reception and events. So we are currently invited by IIPC here, and we will most probably organize something in Lisbon around I-Press. What is different this year compared to previous year? The steering committee decided to this year and for the three following years to commit an amount of money to found a full-time job for the communication and the program officer role. So this fund is attributed to the British Library, and it is it has been used to recruit Mary. There is also promotion and publication funds, video as always, and again a large envelope for the website hosting, but it's not necessarily something that we will spend in its entirety. And so some figures remaining from 2012, and in 2013 new technical projects. So the phase 2 of the Twitter Vein project by the British Library, and another project that will be presented in the GA, the live archiving HTTP proxy developed by the National Audiovisual Institute in France, and also by MacArthur. And again, the PhD training, because it's a 3 years project that I started last year. So, no, it was not the last slide. Sorry. So, what is outstanding from previous years? We have a treasure of 450,000 euros, which is our backlog of money. The membership income in total is something around 170,000 euros. So it's what we get every year, and it changes slightly if we have more members, but it's not changing a lot. An important notice. Officially, all members should have paid their membership fee before the 1st of July. Otherwise, the steering committee will be entitled to remove them from the IIPC membership. But in fact, a lot of invoices have not been paid yet because there was a new signature agreement signature process, so it has been more long this year. So if we go back to this slide, we see that we have this total of expenses committed for 2013. So if we have this plus this minus this, there is around 330,000 euros left for new projects or new ideas. So that's what we have, and it's an important figure because when we will discuss this afternoon the IIPC strategy, it's something we need to bear in mind. So thank you very much for your patience.